All right. Welcome to our Wednesday night reading of the Leadership for a Higher Age of Consciousness. This is your host, Krishna Dave, and we are continuing on the last few pages of chapter 3, getting ready to go into chapter 4 called Expanded Realities for the Mind. Hopefully, you all enjoy this next 30 minutes. This will be full of quite a bit of information. The last illusion. God the Father. In support of the universality of the masculine and feminine energies, the Kabbalion, a book based on an ancient Egyptian wisdom, states gender is everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. In addition, an ancient law of correspondence teaches as above, so below, and as below, so above. And everything in the universe is both masculine and feminine. And if the same principles are true on all levels, then it follows that God must also be dual in nature. Or or to put it in another way, because humans are mentally and spiritually androgynous beings who are made in the image of God, God is also an androgynous being. People can no longer cling to the illusion of an exclusively male God. Of course, there is Mother God. The existence of the Mother God is not a new concept by any means. In fact, the opposite is true. Throughout most of history, humanity worshipped a female God. It is a reality. It is relatively relatively. It is a relativity uh, new perception to consider the Godhead as only male. Many early societies, for example, gave men a secondary role. Their worship ceremonies honor the mother, considering the woman as the origin of creation and of Mother Earth as the source of their livelihood. The matriarchal system of inheritance was, and in some way, our areas still is, the foundation of social and cultural religious norms of community. In more recent times, the Judeo Christian world has espoused the philosophy that God is a male figure having no equal and opposite female counterpart. In many other religions, the female partner of God is not only assumed, but is considered to be equal to or even more significant than the male, as, for example, in the divine couple, Radha and Krishna. As with many realities, as with so many realities, hidden away for centuries by people who wish to subjugate and control others, the existence of the mother god was camouflaged by some religions for the purpose of exploiting the people, especially women. This denigration of the mother for human selfish purposes was so successful that even religions that had previously acknowledged the feminine factor began to allow their modern societies to promote male domination with exploitation. Regardless of how humanity got to this point, it is time to re enthrone the mother god. She has never ceased to exist despite so many attempts to degrade her and eliminate her role. At the highest level, the mother represents all of the feminine qualities and powers in the universe. However, human ignorance and the lack of respect for her, coupled with the low regard in which many people hold their own feminine natures, has led to widespread denial of the importance of the of the feminine. This unimaginable injustice will be judged by God, and many will be found wanting. It is incumbent upon everyone to get to know the Mother God. She is the mother of all creation. She is the divine mother, the overseer of all devotion. Any mature appreciation of Godhead must include her. Highlights. Human beings in a cosmic, there's 10 highlights. The first highlight, human beings live in a cosmic river of flowing energy. Everything is energy. All energy is in motion. Whether or not that motion is perceptible to the lower gross human senses of sight, smell, all energy is in motion, whether or not that motion is perceivable to the lower gross human senses of sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. Number 2, energy is composed of light and the light that emanates from God. Energy is composed of light, that light that emanates from God. Light is at the heart of matter, residing inside every atom. Number 3, this energy is also known as prana, mana, chi, or ki, encompasses everything that exists. It is inexhaustible. The very air people breathe is filled with it. The entire universe can be considered an electrical energy grid that conducts these energies. In this view, a person's energy travels across the grid like sound waves, having an effect on various other energies as they move, then bouncing back in kind. Number 4, although visible to the naked eye, thoughts are things. They are individual electrical entities that group themselves with similar energy to form clusters. They are real, they are substantive, and they are a force that everyone can learn to balance and control. Number 5, energy is impartial, non-resistant, and totally malleable to individual desires. A person's free will determines how it will be used and at what vibratory level it will operate. A high level of spiritual for spiritual purposes, or a low one for selfish ends. The intent, ultimately known only to the individual and to God, is what determines this vibratory level, rather than the ultimate outcome of one's actions. Number 6, worry is a prayer for something one does not want. To avoid an undesirable outcome, people can learn to control their thoughts, especially when they are under stress and have an emotional investment in a desired outcome. Number 7, the decision to function in a positive mode represents the first step in transmuting energy to a higher level, which means raising its vibratory rate. Energy transmuted in this way attracts even more positive energy, producing a snowballing effect that further enhances the benefit of an existing situation or helps speed the creation of a new desirable one. Number 8, it is important to remember that energy can be balanced and that the ultimate goal of working with energy is to achieve such a state of equilibrium. Although you may think you are facing overwhelming odds at times, remember that the basic laws of mathematics also apply to balancing energy. Regardless of whether the body is male or female, mentally and spiritually, everyone is androgynous. In a world psychologically programmed to believe that one sex is more important than the other, this statement may provoke some resistance, or perhaps even a violent reaction. However, any opposition to this reality is futile, because such androgyny, like reincarnation in the karmic scoreboard, is a universal reality that cannot be changed by egocentrism. These words are messing me up today. egocentrism, or a need to dominate and manipulate. Number 10, it is time to rethrone the Mother God. She has never ceased to exist despite the many attempts to degrade her or eliminate her role. At the highest level, the Mother represents all of the feminine qualities and powers of this universe. Mindset. Number one, as you review the 10 essential technologies mentioned at the beginning of this book, note how each of them can help you remain calm during your daily activities and give you a clear sense of direction. Pay special attention to number 5 and practice transmuting negative energy into positive energy in all your leadership endeavors. Number 2, monitor your thoughts carefully. As you think of someone lovingly, angrily, or lustfully, note that person becomes unconsciously affected by your energies. Number 3, read from spiritual texts for half an hour or so before going to bed. Try to reflect on the subject matter as you fall asleep. Also listen to relaxing, spiritually oriented music. These measures will create a protective climate during the night. Number 4, if you feel that a place is occupied by negative energy, you can light incense, sing spiritual songs, chant, or put on a tape of prayers to God as soon as you enter. You may also use pictures of saints or other divine beings to purify the atmosphere, especially if you're going to sleep there, since every environment absorbs the energy of those who frequent it. In both gross and subtle forms, take these measures in all new environments. Such purifying activities will also raise the energy of the atmosphere in general. Number 5, instead of worrying, replace your worries with a visual image of the outcome you want to create. Help that image manifest rather than feeding emotional energy into the thought form you fear. Number 6, as you develop the habit of energizing only positive mental images, your thoughts, words, and deeds will automatically reflect a higher state of being. Notice the changes in your life that occur as a result. Number 7, you always use methods such as forgiveness, prayer, meditation, or energy transmutation to release the low vibrations or anger, resentment, or envy. Otherwise, these negative energies will produce serious blockages that can eventually lead to mental or physical illness. Make an effort to become more well-rounded and whole person, maintaining a healthy balance between your masculine and feminine energies. In such a state, you will uplift consciousness wherever you go. Number 9, spend some time recharging yourself by getting away for self-rejuvenation. Being close to nature and associating with the elements can be very refreshing. It brings out creativity and lets you shed some of the weight you normally carry. Number 10, practice raising the consciousness of those who try to attack you. First, remember there is no attack unless you accept it. See these attacks as call for helps. And review what you will do or say the next time to help your would-be attackers. This will protect you and help them as well. Number 4, expanded realities for the mind. The mind has great range and power, is capable of extraordinary accomplishments. Your awareness of its vast potential can deepen your appreciation of the mind's contributions to the progress of human civilization, provide you with invaluable guidance in personal and leadership matters, and enhance your ability to serve the highest good of all in all that you do. Tapping the mind's potential. Almost everyone has heard that people use only 5 to 10% of their brains. What an incredible thought. Especially since many individuals seem to be extremely impressed with themselves, believing that the entire universe revolves around them and that they are its only intelligent beings, far superior to other forms of life. What would human beings be capable of if they used the entire brain, all 100%? If they did so, they would be the gods they were intended to be, microcosms of the macrocosm, self-contained energy units with the power to move mountains. Whoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. And Jesus says to his disciples that, and he was not joking, if one were to combine the wide range of possible human talents, especially those considered to be supernatural, into one person, the result might approximate a human who was using 70% of the brain and leaving unharnessed the other 30%. The potential is vast and can be developed simply by training unused portions of the brain to work in new ways. You can develop your capabilities by helping your conscious, subconscious, and superconscious minds work together. When you can teach those you lead to do the same, then you can teach those who you lead to do the same. What is possible for one human being is possible for all. The mind's power is demonstrated in many ways. Among these are the capacity of thought to influence the physical body, the extrasensory ability manifest in so-called psychic phenomena, the potential inherent in everyone to learn complicated information quickly and effortlessly, the purported capability of some to perceive extraterrestrial beings, and the rich potential of dreams to provide guidance and knowledge. The mind-body connection. One demonstration of the mind's great potential can be found in the many ways in which the physical body responds to the mind's influence. For example, psychosomatic illness is a physical ailment generated by mental processes and have no discernible biological cause. Many diseases have direct or indirect psychological correlations in which the mind causes the physical body to accept conclusions its conclusions, and the body reacts accordingly. For example, case histories have reported paralysis of a limb with no obvious biological cause. Despite the absence of apparent medical problems, an arm may function as if it were physically paralyzed because of some traumatic memory or fear buried in the individual's unconscious mind. Further, in phobias such as agoraphobia or claustrophobia, a person may experience levels of fright and dysfunctional behavior that appear unwanted to others. In some of these cases, with a proper change of consciousness, the subject no longer experiences the symptoms. Another classic example of the mind's effect on the body is the placebo effect. In controlled experiments, one group of subjects is given actual medication for a particular problem, while those in another group were told that they are taking medicine. In fact, simply receive sugar pills no of no medicinal value. Improvements frequently occurred in the groups taking the placebo, a phenomenon that researchers attribute to the subject's expectations, in other words, to the mind's power of suggestion. The psychoneuroimmunology is the study of the mysterious way in which the person's mind and emotions can influence their immune system. Research in this new area of modern science is providing insight into the ways of harnessing the power of the mind, including the emotions, to heal the body. And this field has provoked interest in the roles of emotions in determining whether someone can recover from such infirmities as blindness and terminal cancer. Indeed, it appears that in addition to the thoughts in a person's mind, positive emotions such as hope and love could help speed the healing process. There is little doubt that the mind can be a most powerful healing tool. Yet another phenomenon encountered in studying the mind-body connection is that of spontaneous remission, a medical miracle in which no clear medical explanation exists for the disappearance of a previously degenerative condition. Spontaneous remission has been observed with all types of illnesses, even cancer. Several studies, such as the one at the Institute of Naiatic Sciences in Palo Alto, California, are exploring this phenomenon in greater depth. The mind's learning power. Another example of a vast potential of the mind can be found in the learning process called suggestology, also referred to as superlearning. This is an effortless technique. Oh goodness. Sorry. This is I'm being surprised by a gnat. I'm not sure what it's coming from. Anyway. Also referred to as superlearning. This is the effortless technique in which specifically selected music is played in the background while the learner in the deep relaxed state listens to lessons, commands, or instructions. This approach is not hypnosis or sleep learning because the student is fully awake and completely in control. The subject learns the material without any exertion or attempt at conscious memorization. Such a technique is said to affect 90% of the brain that is not normally used. One of the greatest researchers in this area is Dr. George Lozanov of the Institute of Suggestology in Bulgaria, who believes that such teaching method speeds up learning 50 times. The Bulgarians have thousands of controlled test results to prove the success of their method, which increases retention, requires virtually no effort on the part of the student, reaches the retarded as well as the brilliant, succeeds with young and old alike, and needs no special equipment. At the Institute of Suggestology, hundreds of people from all levels of society have learned an entire language in as little as 20 days. Some experimental groups are mastering courses in basic mathematics, science, physics, chemistry, and biology in a matter of weeks. Suggestology. Something to look at if you're interested in that kind of thing. I'll read just a couple more, maybe one more page. The expanded mind, psychic phenomena. The vast power of the mind is also demonstrated by the existence of psychic phenomena. The field of parapsychology, which studies the phenomena, can be viewed as a bridge linking together the humanities, religion, and arts and science into the integrated understanding of how the human mind interacts with the cosmos. This is why some of the most splendid minds in history, such as Madame Curie, Franklin D. Roosevelt, William Butler Yeats, Thomas Edison, Winston Churchill, and Carl Jung, have been interested in the psychic matters. Many individuals demonstrate unusual paranormal abilities that defy current scientific explanation. Some have gifts of precognition, foretelling events before they occur. Others demonstrate clairvoyance or clairaudience, seeing or hearing beyond the range of ordinary physical perception. Certain people can read another's thoughts or transmit thoughts telepathically into someone's head. There are others who are gifted, like in psychokinesis, using their mental energy to move or bend physical objects, while others practice psychometry, the ability to obtain information about someone merely by touching an object in which the person has come in contact with. And almost everyone has heard of healers who cure illnesses and other disturbances by resorting to the power of prayer and thought. Many of the early pioneers in the field of psychology, including Sigmund Freud, Sander Ferenczi, William Steckel, and Carl Jung, possessed a vital interest in psychic phenomena, magic, and the Carl Jung possesses a vital interest in the psychic phenomena, magic, and the occult, which they justly regard as intimately related to the deeper levels of the mind. It is interesting to note that two of the persons who have made the most significant contribution in modern day psychology, Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud, both had an interest in psychic studies. In a letter written to the noted psychic researcher Harold Carrington in 1924, Sigmund Freud stated, if I had lived my life over again, I should devote myself to psychic research rather than psychoanalysis. Many of Jung's maternal ancestors had frequent involvement in the supernatural. His grandfather, the Reverend Samuel Preisreich, had encounters with invisible entities. Jung's mother, Emily, recorded in her diary how, as a young girl, she was often obliged to sit by the bedside of Reverend Preisreich in order to prevent the spirits from disturbing him. The same grandfather was also known to hold weekly seances with the spirit of his first wife. His second wife, Jung's grandmother, was also gifted with unusual clairvoyant abilities. Jung himself, while in his early 20s, began his career in the psychic experimenter. All right, I'll read this last one. The astral body. Psychic phenomena greatly expanded the range of human capabilities and experience. Yet the current scientific paradigm cannot explain them. How are all these feats possible? Every psychic phenomena represents a conduit to another dimension, to another form of energy that is not acknowledged by orthodox belief systems, and demonstrates that humans are more than just physical beings. One of the most outstanding and reliable mediums of the 20th century is Eileen Garrett, the president of Parapsychology Foundation in New York and a highly successful business executive. Writes, throughout my life I have been aware of the fact that in Eastern and theological teachings, and as such, it is said, I'm sorry. Throughout my life, I have been aware of the fact that everyone possesses a second body, a double. The double is a distinct fact in Western and theological teachings, and as such, it is said to be an energetic body, a magnetic aura associated with a physical human corpse, an area in which the immaterial forces of the cosmos, the solar system, the planet, and one's more immediate environment are normally transformed in the life and the belief of the individual. An understanding of the human aura can help clarify the function of the etheric double, the astral body. In fact, the aura is the greatest field radiating outward from the astral body. According to Ms. Garrett, this etheric double can be used for the expansion of consciousness and is a medium for telepathic or clairvoyant experiences. Ms. Garrett and many others believe that the secret to extrasensory perception is related to the astral body. In Russia, parapsychology research into the aura has demonstrated that the human being is more than just a physical entity. Such inner research indicates that the human astral body vibrates and radiates energy in the form of different signals that reveal information about the person's mental and physical state, and even about the future health of various organs. Kirlian photography has photography has played a significant role in helping identify the aura. In some cases, persons whose arms and legs have been amputated have still felt the limb's presence. Certain researchers believe that the limb's etheric double, which represents the perfect pattern around the physical body is formed, remains intact even after physical limbs have been removed. Another indication that such an astral body exists is found in the acupuncture, a science that makes use of energy pathways or meridians of the etheric double. When there is blockage of energy along these paths, the mind and the physical body are affected. Acupuncture is a method of releasing stored energy and freeing the meridians to improve both mental and physical health. All right, we'll leave off on Beyond Space and Time for next week. Please excuse any mistakes I made while reading. Hopefully this was enlightening for you and that you can use this information somehow, or at least do more research on what was spoken. Until then, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.